Sukuna meets his demise. So in the previous chapter, we know that Sukuna gets hit with his own cleave. Comes to find out, Sukuna got hit with the cleave by the one and only Yuta Okotsu. Yuta tells him straight up like this: "Your final finger, I ate that." And right after, Yuji Itadori follows it up with a haymaker punch to his second face. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot how to read manga again. Wasn't it left to right? I don't even know. Let's get back into it. While Sukuna is still trying to look cool, he says, "I see, quite the mill." So after that, Yuta lands another strike. But Yuji is like, "I'm not done yet." He grabs his head and he says, "Come here." So them two are just giving Sukuna the hands. All this commotion, all this chaos, and they are now starting to turn the table. It's looking good. As Yuji pulls away from Sukuna, Sukuna is like, "Come here, give me a hug, bring it in." Yuji says, "Nah, I got something for you," and spits blood in that boy's face. You a bad man, Yuji. You a bad man. And even then, as he's spitting blood in his face, Yuta's like, "Let me get another one in." He uppercuts my boy Sukuna in his chin. W move. Yuta falls to the ground and said, "This is my last chance to bring down Sukuna and take back Fushiguro. Right here, right now. No resting. Get up. Heal, heal, heal." And he forces himself to use RCT, getting the job done. While all this is happening, Sukuna comes to the realization that his cursed energy output and his control of the body are weakening. This gives Yuji a chance to enter inside of Sukuna's body and talk to Megumi. Hopefully, Rika comes out and Yuji starts attacking Sukuna, along with Rika getting her little punches in. Sukuna starts to put his hands together, and Yuta and Yuji realize Sukuna has a little plan up his sleeve, releasing Hollow Wicker Basket and taking the Angel's technique in a desperate gamble to fire off the world-splitting dismantle. Ooh. He trying to get down with the get down. That boy trying to make moves, but Yuta and Yuji see this and they immediately get straight to business. Yuji grabs Sukuna's arm. Yuta goes in for the punch. Rika is back there holding it down. Yuta lands the punch to the ribs and said, "You tried it, but we knew that. We already knew that." Don't quote me on this. Do not. But I believe she rips off that man's arm. But Sukuna got a little something for Yuta. We see that Yuta takes a dismantle from Sukuna, but not gonna lie, that thing did like 5% damage. So Yuta ate that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, saying he wasn't able to use the expanded dismantle while using Hollow Wicker Basket at the same time. Even if it's a simple technique, he's forced to use chance hand signs or even both. But at this desperate time, he says, "And I won't let him do either." Not gonna lie, they locking in. They are locking in. Megumi, you should be grateful. You should be grateful. They locking in for you. So Sukuna sends another slash to Yuta and says his slashes are weakening so he can close the distance without fear of dying and getting blasted back. But hold on, what do we have here? We see that Sukuna takes damage and says, "What is this? The brat's blood. It's bursting." Boy, that boy Yuta. That boy Yuta. Boy, that boy Yuta. Boy, did his arm get chopped off? What is this? And we get hit with a flashback, and it tells us, according to Sakumo-san's notes, on a general level, even if souls are mixed together, to some degree, they'll never become one. Chozo enters the scene. It's good to see you, my boy. Could it be that you and Sukuna were just a special case? I can't feel a trace of the soul that formerly inhabited this body. That seems to be due to the massive gap in cursed energy between cursed objects and non-sorcerers. Her notes say that while a soul might sink deeper and deeper, it won't ever disappear or conjoin to become one. So that means they have an absolute chance to save Megumi Fushiguro. Following up, on a general level, if Megumi is an exception to this, we're in trouble. Meaning, if Sukuna and Megumi's soul collided. There is no saving Megumi. But Yuta claims that there was a cursed spirit named Mahito who was able to take the souls of others and join them together to create a separate creature. Right. Soul manipulation. As long as a technique like that isn't in play, I think it's safe to assume that two souls can't become one. I think. Saying, I believe Tsukumo-san's words. I'll shake Fushigiro's soul awake. And the angel is giving us vital information right here. If that's your plan, our technique might be beneficial. The angel's technique is the eradication of its target's technique. We should be able to eradicate Sukuna due to the incarnated form being a direct mix of his technique, his personality, and the cursed object. Given that the cursed techniques are invariably connected to the brain, the survival rate of the target is low, which means unfortunately the plan might not work. The plan might not work out. But she says, however, if we're able to separate the two souls and weaken the synchronicity between the cursed object and the body, the survival rate will skyrocket. Meaning we take the two and we separate them with that technique. Then we go back to the present and look at Sukuna. He just looks so annoyed right now, bro, which is hilarious. He's like, dang, I really got myself in this situation. So Yuta releases the technique, maximum output, Jacob's ladder, and we see the stars in the skies. Sukuna's head falling back, and Jacob's ladder is unleashed. Oh, and he did lose an arm. Okay, so right now, that boy is taking an L. That boy is sitting on an L right now. Yuta takes his katana and slashes Sukuna, and Yuji Itadori is in the back, powering up, saying, wake up, Fushiguro. Yuji strikes Sukuna's soul in the composition of the soul from the angle. Itadori and Okotsu's plan had no flaws. That's enough. However, we see Megumi Fushiguro and Yuji Itadori. I've had enough. Within Fushiguro Megumi's soul, any will to live had already been extinguished. We at a crazy scene right now. The plan worked. We see Megumi Fushiguro. We see my boy Megumi Fushiguro, bro, in the state that Yuji Itadori was in when Nanami died. Nobara got her eye blasted open. And right here, it's a lot of people saying, Megumi soul, Megumi soul. Megumi had a front row seat to see everybody die. Everybody died. Not only Gojo, who's his father figure, died. The lawyer, well, he plays no role to Megumi. His sister died. Got possessed by whatever. Imagine right here is a like a view out of Sukuna's eyes everywhere. That boy has a front row seat. It's a movie in there. He had nobody to talk to. Nobody was in his soul saying, wake up, you can get out of here. Hey, Yuji is here, and we're gonna see what he says to him. Scale of the dragon, recoil, twin meteors, and we see a whole bunch of chaos. Yuta Okotsu gets hit with a slash that cuts his arm. Rika gets hit with a slash. Yuji also gets hit with a slash, and we see Sukuna breaks away the reality dimension. This strategy was common of Jujutsu sorcerers. The mediocre plan that Sukuna, under normal circumstances, could have instantly avoided. And then what is this? Sukuna gets stabbed through the chest, through his testicles, as a surprise attack. Who do we see here? The one and only, the beloved Maki Zenin. Sukuna looks back with a disgusting grin on his face. On the individual assured of their own victory, pierced by the blade of a monster with no cursed energy, and the chapter ends. And there's a break next week. She gave that boy Sukuna the Gojo treatment.
You crying?
But yeah, there's a break next week. Also, this is my first time doing something like this, so I don't know if y'all want to see the chapter 252. If y'all do, this is kind of fun. I'll do another one if y'all really want it. But yeah, that concludes the chapter 251. We got to Megumi, but Megumi is a broken man. The plan worked, but at what cost? The hope to live is gone. We gotta reignite that. I don't know if they're gonna fight. I don't know if he's gonna become a bad guy. We shall see in about 2 weeks. My name is Ambientmore, and I thank you for watching. Keep your head up, stay on the grind. I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.